Good morning, guys. Welcome back to my channel, and for those of you who are new to my channel, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any future videos. Today I'm here on vacation, and I figured this would be a good time to chat a little bit with you guys about how to get females in your life comfortable with guns. I get a lot of messages from people asking how they can get their girlfriend or their wife or their sister or whoever more comfortable with firearms, because it can be a little intimidating. So I've got a few tips for you guys. Hopefully they'll help you out, help you to get these people a little bit more comfortable with the idea of firearms and maybe even get them to go shooting. So I'm gonna make my coffee now, we're gonna go outside and we'll have a little bit of a chat. I'm gonna be taking you along with me today and just giving you a few tips here and there. So stick with me and we're gonna have a good day. So my first tip is coming to you from this beautiful pontoon boat. I've got my pup here. She's just taking in all the smells. And I want to start off with talking about talking. It's important when you're trying to get someone comfortable with firearms to listen to their concerns and find out what they're maybe afraid of or what they're worried about, because guns can be an intimidating topic, especially to someone who's never had experiences with them before, or maybe someone who's had negative experiences with them. So you want to really ask her what her concerns are, how she feels about it, things that she might be worried about or scared about, so that then you can go and address those fears and concerns. And after that, the next part of that is to tell her how you feel about firearms and explain to her why they're important to you. Explain to her why you care and why it's important to you for her to be comfortable around them. Maybe you keep guns in the house and she lives with you and you want her to be able to use them to defend herself if something happens. Or maybe you just like to shoot for fun and you want her to go with you because it's just a fun thing you can do together. Either way, just tell her why it's important to you, but make sure you're listening to what she's saying as well. Don't just talk without listening. Nobody likes that. So that's just going to open the door to you both understanding each other a little better, and it's going to allow you to take some additional steps after that based on what you've talked about. She might be concerned that the gun's just going to go off, but I'm going to show you how, thanks to technology, that's not possible unless you're pulling the trigger. I've got my boyfriend Mac here, and he's going to show you what I mean.
Hey everyone. So I got some old guns here just because I want to show you how this technology is nothing new. It's been around for a very long time, and modern guns are even safer. So I got a CZ83, which is a Czechoslovakian made firearm. 1983 is when it came out, but it's kind of a mimic of an older gun. And I got a Ruger Vaquero, which is like a mimic of a Colt Peacemaker, basically. It's like, you know, a cowboy gun. So what I want to show you is both of them are empty. Let me show you that one, you can see there's no rounds in all 6 chambers. Mm-hmm. And this guy has no magazine in it, and there's nothing in the chamber.
Perfect.
All right, so let's go with the CZ83. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a chopstick, I'm gonna drop it down the barrel, the hammer is cocked. Now when I pull the trigger on this, it's gonna shoot the chopstick right out of the gun all the way up into the ceiling. And there it goes. All right. So we know that the firing pin struck the chopstick because that's how it got shot out of the gun. So now let's do it again. And what I'm going to show you is how safe firearms can be. All right. So now I'm going to pull the trigger. Now I'm going to take my finger off the trigger. Now I'm holding the hammer with all that spring tension just on my thumb. Now when I let that hammer go, do you think the chopstick's going to move? Chopstick doesn't move at all. The firing pin cannot move forward unless your finger is depressing the trigger throughout the entire cycle of the firing pin. Whether it's a hammer, whether it's a striker, it doesn't matter. On any modern firearm, and this is 83, the hammer or the striker, the firing pin cannot move and hit the primer, which is the back of the bullet that makes it go bang, unless you're depressing the trigger. So anytime you ever heard someone say, oh, it just went off, or the gun just went off, no, it didn't go off. The person pulled the trigger. They didn't mean to pull the trigger, but they pulled the trigger. Let's do it again. So we got the Ruger, older, even older technology, all right, but it's a more modern version of it. I'm gonna shoot this up. There we go. Same thing, do it again. Pull the trigger, take my finger off of the trigger, but the hammer is free. You can see my fingers off the trigger. When I let go of that hammer, that chopstick will not move, and the chopstick doesn't move. So firearms in general, handguns in general, just they're very safe if the person handling them is safe. When there's a problem, it's almost always not the gun, it's the person. Very, very, very few guns are at fault when there's a negligent discharge. It's the human beings handling them. So there are a few guns out there that are like, if you drop them, it could go bang, but that's very, very, very few. And generally, as soon as a company does that and it gets discovered, they will fix the problem. So odds are, any handgun that you pick up, you don't pull the trigger, it won't go bang, and it's a safe firearm, as long as you handle it correctly.
After you've talked to her and she decides she wants to try shooting, there are a few things you can do to make her more comfortable. First off, you can start with something like BB guns or air guns to make her more comfortable, and that's an easy way for you to teach her how sights work and all that without having the noise and all the people around you that might be around you if you're at an actual gun range. And then when you actually go to the range, make sure you start off with a very small caliber, like a .22. Even rifles are really good to start off with. That way she doesn't have to worry about holding it steady. You can put it on a rest and really increase her chances of success. Because in the beginning you want her to feel really confident and want to continue by making sure she's hitting the target. So you can start with things like cans or steel plates, and those are always fun to shoot because you hear the noise when you hit them. So just make it really fun and not scary. Don't start her off with a big gun just because you want to show off, which I've seen people do sometimes. Start her off with something that is very low recoil so that she'll want to go again. As she gets more comfortable, you can increase the caliber. And also, let her know that there are groups out there where she can shoot with other women. If she wants to find an instructor, she can find a female instructor if that makes her more comfortable as well. And when the time comes where she actually wants to buy a gun, make sure that she chooses it herself. A lot of guys make the mistake of buying a gun for their woman, and they might mean well, but your hands and her hands are going to be a lot different, and what's comfortable for you to shoot might not be comfortable for her. Many people will just buy their girlfriend or wife or sister a J-frame revolver, and those can be very unpleasant to shoot sometimes. Oh my goodness, this big fish. So cool. Wow, look at it. Think you can see me? I love the ocean. So make sure it's something that she holds, because her hands are going to be a lot different from yours. And they make guns now that are not only designed for women based on like different colors and stuff, but they're based on different sizes for hands and things like that. So make sure she chooses her own gun. Try to find a place where she can shoot a few different kinds and try them. And then she'll be prouder afterwards when she can say that she has a gun and she picked it all on her own. Even if she plans on never carrying, or if she doesn't think she'll ever want to carry a gun, it's good for her to take a class, just like a safety class or a home defense class even, so that she knows how to safely handle guns, especially if you keep guns in the home. So don't pressure her to carry, but explain to her that it's important to you that she knows how to safely handle guns because you keep them in the home. It's best for you and for your family. It might even be a nice date night idea for you guys to take a class together. Thank you guys so much for watching. We're gonna go have some dinner now. So I hope you all have a great day. Make sure you subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!